This is Dr. GSK Velu, who is undoubtedly a face of homegrown entrepreneurial success in India's healthcare sector. His flagship company is the 500 crore rupee medical manufacturer Trivitron. His ventures like Alliance Medicorp and Metropolis have roped in partners like Apollo Hospitals and PE investors like Warburg Pincus. VC Circle caught up with him at the Healthcare Summit in Mumbai to talk about Trivitron and the industry.
Can you please tell us what is the current scenario right now? You're a serial entrepreneur, especially in healthcare. Now, you've seen specific challenges, and there are many. While the pie is big for investors, what are the specific areas where you are seeing more investor confidence, especially now that you're on the expansion side?
No, one thing what the healthcare has shown is it's recession-proof, because today pharma stocks you can see already doing well. And I'm sure moving forward, healthcare service stocks as well as medtech, which is area of growth in the future. That is actually, if you look at PE space worldwide, almost 1/3 of the investments is in medtech space. But unfortunately, in India, there was no credible and scale available for PE investors to look at. So I do see the interest in medtech space will grow up. And healthcare delivery system, not only the super speciality hospital, the single speciality hospitals and primary health are the areas where the investors will show more interest in the years to come.
Okay. Now, Trivitron has been in the news for quite some time. You all have been talking about expansion and inorganic expansion especially. Can you give us an idea? One is wondering, where is that expansion really going to? You all are having exports now in Japan. How is that really going on? And where are the targets that you all are? What are the kind of targets that you all looked at?
Trivitron actually want to be a global medical technology company with an Indian heart and a strong focus on Indian growth story.
Okay.
So for that, as a company, like India being a diverse country, like any other place, we need to be present in both the businesses, which is premium business as well as the value products.
Okay.
So the value products is where we are doing our own innovation and M&A. Even if you are looking at Europe and US to acquire, our ultimate aim is to bring a technology to India, tweak it, and make it more affordable and accessible to a larger section of population, especially in emerging market. Our focus in the past 5 years has been in South Asia, Southeast Asia, Middle East and Africa. So we are looking at synergies with people present in US, Europe and Latin America so that we can have some level of global presence.
So we are looking at joint ventures in the
we look at M&As, acquisitions, and small and medium-sized companies acquisition. Is something more from the angle of bringing technology to India to give an emerging market focus. That's our main.
Could you give us an idea as to where is Metropolis today? What are the kind of expansion strategies that they are looking forward to? And can that really give
actually, I'm quite surprised that I'm sure Warburg should be very, very happy with Metropolis investment, because Metropolis is doing well. And whatever I think the promoters did say as to be achieved is being achieved from Warburg Pincus. Today, no one wants to be in public markets, whether not only Metropolis or Trivitron or any of the other companies. Because today, I think public market is not good for fundraising with the current mood, what's going on in the market. But appropriate time, I'm sure Metropolis has the scale and also the bandwidth to get to public, but that no such decisions have been taken. So I'm sure you should ask Warburg about whether they are happy. I'm sure they will tell they're extraordinarily happy with
One also asks, is there right now, you've been now in business for quite some time, what is the market appreciation for medical equipment? And how are you tackling the competitiveness of the Chinese manufacturers?
No, actually, Chinese, as I tell you, say when you say medical equipment, the very definition of medical equipment, it's that's a really complicated scenario, because when we say medical technology, there is medical instruments with medical devices, medical consumables, in-vitro diagnostic products. It's actually a kind of it's not a basic science; it's an applied science. Because if for you to run a comprehensive medical technology company, you're in the input industries or electronic industry, mechanical industry, biotech industry, pharma industry, and IT industry. You should, and from India-based company, our thinking is we have a very, very vibrant pharma industry, IT industry, and also the biotech industry. So that means we should align our product orientation and manufacturing initiatives to use input advantages from these three industries, which most probably will be in the areas of in-vitro diagnostics, implantable devices, and some of the biotech-oriented initiatives. And that's what Trivitron is focused on in terms of doing scale and manufacturing.
Is there no diversification? Is there no spread in India? What is the need for an entrepreneur to look at Africa?
Oh, see, we are not, none of these healthcare enterprises are looking at outside as a key focus. But like if you see any business which happened in healthcare, whether it's medtech or health services, the companies which all grew up to global scale all had a large scale domestic market. Be it a US company or a Europe company, they had 80% of their revenues coming from US, but they had a global dream. The global dream basically for us as India players, when we say we are present elsewhere in advanced markets and several other markets, that gives us even local credibility, because when it becomes globally competitive, then the business has to be locally credible. So that's what we are not saying 80% of our revenues will come outside India. We still all as Indian companies go in healthcare industry. I think there's a huge, as you say, is a big market in India.
Yes.
So we are all focused on Indian opportunities. But sometimes for two reasons, one for credibility, another even for profits.
Okay.
We focus on, because the profits in other markets are a little more, even though volume may be cheaper,
Okay.
volume may be much smaller, but I think the profits are better.
So the high margins are still coming out from other development?
In other development, because India is still healthcare delivery or medtech devices.
What could be the profit margin? As in, what would be the profit margin difference between, say, Africa or...
in Africa today is because there is no access, there is no affordable, access is the big problem, because there is no trained manpower, there is no good healthcare services, there is no many medical equipments coming from Europe, US, Japan, they are not able to not only afford but not able to maintain.
Okay.
So if you are able to actually find the niche to be present in some of this growing market. In my opinion, Africa will be a big market in the next 20 years, like the way. So if somebody feels like having 10 years from now having a significant presence, it's good to always have a seed in terms of getting a brand presence without taking too much risk or without committing too much investments. So
Okay.
I think most of the
What are the few geographies within Africa that you would say are more promising?
I think your Central Africa, East Africa, and also Northern Africa, all these, I think mainly a few countries like Kenya, Tanzania,
Okay.
Nigeria, and then in East Africa, almost all of them,
All right.
Egypt, and all these are big markets which is
Okay.
growing up.
All right. Dr. Velu, a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.